Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya from vitalcoaching.com and welcome to Bali again. I'm right now in a place called Amet on the east coast of Bali. Beautiful location by the sea. Magnificent coast, right? The topic for this video is Tantra misconceptions. Misconceptions about Tantra, tantric sex, polyamory, sex in general. You know, when you are in the Tantra field, very often there are lots of projections, things that people believe about Tantra, tantric sex, being a tantrika training, and I want to clear a little bit the air and give you some frames so that you understand what I'm doing and what other people are doing in this field. So the first thing is that there is a big distinction for me. Everything that I'm going to say is my own interpretation, okay? These are not necessarily universal truths. I don't ask you to believe what I'm saying. I don't ask you to be on board with me with these truths. If you have other beliefs, that's all right. What I'm going to give you here is really my own set of experience and what I practice, okay? So the key word here are Tantra and tantric sex. They are two different things. For me, the field of Tantra is really, really vast. When you ask someone in the West, what is Tantra? They will associate Tantra with sexual practices. You go back to India, those two things are not merging at all. So let's put that into perspective, and I will tell you how I feel about it. Sex is part of our lives, and Tantra for me is a path of life mastery. So sexual energy is part of the system and it's part of what I teach, but it's not necessarily something that takes control of everything. So the vital sex part or the tantric sex part that I teach represents maybe 10% of the overall teaching that I have. And in this 10%, you know, you could spend your whole life on it. You could dive into this practice and really explore them in great depth. So if you are focusing on Tantra as a sexual practice, the distinction that I make is that I call that tantric sex or vital sex for me, because I use the vital word or the vital brand. But, you know, it's two separate things. The other thing is that there is also an overlap between Tantra and polyamory. And again, those two concepts are very different. Polyamory means that you have multiple sex partners. That's what people usually understand with the word polyamory. And again, this is it's not true at all. You can be a tantrika and be totally sexually exclusive, be married, be in a committed relationship with somebody, or you can be a tantrika and be totally sexually inactive. You can practice tantric sex without having sensual exchange with somebody. You can practice and you can be polyamorous without engaging at all into anything that has to do with Tantra practices. So because the communities overlap a little bit, we tend to merge everything and believe that everything is the same, and it's not at all, you know. So I want to make that distinction to clear the space a little bit, and for you to simply understand a little bit these concepts a little bit deeper. So I'm going to use the terms polyamory and monoamory. Monoamory means that you are focused on one person. The moment you start sharing sensuality, sexuality, that you start engaging in intimacy with more than one person, if it's in a period of maybe a month, then usually the term polyamorous starts applying to you. If you are really in an exclusive relationship, and you are, for instance, married, or you have been with that person for at least a few months, and you're not sharing intimacy with anybody else, then you are what I call monoamorous. I use the term monoamorous rather than monogamous because it seems to be a better reflection of the term polyamory. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all for this introduction. What I'm going to do next is that I'm going to dive into the different aspects of these distinctions, because there are a few really core mindsets that I would like you to understand. Why is it important to understand these distinctions? Because then you understand better how to relate to this field, how to relate to this community. When you meet somebody and that person tells you they are tantrikas or in tantrika training, then you will have some associations which are a little bit more aligned with what they're actually practicing. Okay, that's it for now. I will start with the next video in a second.